Now, joining me is Country Liberal Party Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa Price to talk about the situation in Alice Springs right now. Jacinta, so much to unpack this week, but we saw the Prime Minister spend 3 days at the Australian Open tennis, but he only visited Alice Springs for, I think it was about 4 hours. Give him 5 to be generous. But meanwhile, today, shocking videos have come out of Alice Springs revealing the nature of the violence in the streets. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Peter Dutton has said that it is our national shame that this is going and things must start to change immediately. He pledged the opposition's support for practical measures. But Jacinta Price, what do you think the Prime Minister needs to do to take up the cause of ending this obscene violence in Alice Springs?
Well, he needs to listen to what the locals have been asking of him to do, which is to reinstate the alcohol bans that were lifted back in July to ensure that people can be better protected. I have a bill to that effect, which seeks to put back the alcohol bans in the town camps and some of the remote communities until such time as those places that choose to want to have alcohol in their communities have an effective alcohol management plan in place before any of that can in fact happen, and the appropriate infrastructure and education that should go along with responsible drinking and alcohol management in any place should happen. But there are other measures. I've called for Labor to support my commitment in the lead up to the federal election, which was to put $8.3 million toward building a accommodation for staff and students of Yiparinya School, which takes care of the children from our town camps to give them a safe haven with an education focus. They're the vulnerable kids that are out on our streets at night time. And the Minister, Linda Burney, has known about this. The member for Lingiari has known about this. Our other Senator Mullendary McCarthy, has known about this. These are measures that could be put into place now. We need to reinstate our elder patrol in the community, which was something that we did as part of the previous council, and somehow that's lapsed. It needs to be brought back. There are community-led, ways to be able to deal with this issue and deal with it effectively now. And he's just waiting for, this report to come back to him. It's been asked of Darrell Anderson, who had many years actually running the Territory Families and been responsible for the lives of some of our most vulnerable kids out in our communities, has been responsible for that. She's been given a few days to write up a report to make suggestions to this government, when the experts and community leaders and organisations have already been saying this is what we need. But deaf ears.
And Jacinta, the word voice is very fashionable these days right now about some of these issues, but I have heard that hundreds of locals attended a community meeting to make their voices heard about how the town needs help. Tell us about this community meeting and what happened and what came out of that. And what are the voices there saying to Anthony Albanese, with or without a voice to Parliament?
Well, so I attended this rally yesterday. I got there and it was already full. There were about 3,000 locals who showed up. It's probably the biggest community meeting I think ever called. And so members of the community were beside themselves. They're wanting their community to be brought back under control, to be brought back to its former glory. Long-term residents, Indigenous, non-Indigenous, because that's what we are here in Alice Springs, came together. Ultimately, they've decided that they are wanting to bring a class action against the Northern Territory government for their failure to relieve us of crime and all the issues that we're currently faced with. I think this will be the beginning of probably many more possible meetings to come. I know that there are a lot of residents who felt like it should have gone longer, but it was disrupted by a small group of progressive individuals who wanted to go around calling everyone rednecks and Nazis, which is utter nonsense. The majority of them themselves white people with, local residents, long-term Indigenous residents, turning around and telling them to rack off. And how dare they bring that nonsense to effectively what is a community meeting of voices who are wanting to be heard with all the issues that we're currently confronted with. And again, of course, no sign of Albo. He's not interested. He did his couple hours on the ground. Off he went to the tennis to chug back beers.
And indeed, Jacinta, very, very quickly, how do you feel about Lydia Thorpe's statement on Q&A that there shouldn't be a voice, they should go treaty first? Do you feel a bit odd being almost in the same canvasser very, very quickly? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not. Well, no to the voice and no to treaty. We're Australian citizens, the lot of us.
Thank you so much, Jacinta Price. That's all we have time for.